And we're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Marvin here with Bianca. Ben told Bianca ain't probably waiting, but I disagree. She got here. So, I think that we should talk like Brett was talking about some of the stuff we're going to do this week. It's already Tuesday, but we still got stuff we're doing, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go, where are we walking at this week?
I don't think there's a group walk scheduled this week.
Huh?
I don't think there's a group walk scheduled this week.
Oh, are we doing what?
Uh,
It'll be nice and cool that today.
I will get back to you on that.
Yeah. I just watched, because she's sending it out on, whatever that is.
I don't think we have time.
Huh?
I don't think we have time.
Well, maybe we're not going to do one this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, she'll post it. So, do we have anything scheduled?
I will look.
As I say, it's pretty easy the way it sounds. We're just going to train dogs and, I don't know, weed eat.
We have set your dog free on Saturday.
Paul Smith says good morning.
Yeah.
Suzanne says hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. And a lake
Hello.
bake clinic on Saturday.
And there's a lake bank clinic here. I can't do that in town because I might get attacked by some big ferocious dog eating your doodle. So, well, then let's talk about something else. Brett?
Marvin.
So I think we should talk about my video that I posted about the dog getting out of the car. Good and bad.
I heard good things about
I
it.
know
Marvin.
you don't like it, but I've had 2 or 3 people that told me they really liked it.
I heard great things.
One person even said they see what they need to quit doing by letting their dog out and just dragging them away or running away, you know. That, for me, that's what it was about. Is I don't know what my dogs do if I just turn them out. Bear will probably go around behind me. Mario will probably go look for something to do.
For sure.
But what were your
Come
dogs?
back though.
Huh? Yeah, she won't
Come
run
back,
off. Yeah, she won't go very far. What will your dogs do?
Off leash or on leash?
Off leash, if you just open car them out.
Off leash. Rebel will fly.
They'll come over here probably.
Yeah.
And for me,
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
This
here,
morning
you
I
know.
let him out. It just depends on me, you know? Because this morning there was a client in the barn hallway. And Annie, the shepherd, was in that hallway. So I dang sure didn't want my 2 dogs bombing them in the hallway.
Yeah.
So I let them out of the car and they stayed with me.
Big
Right.
ass for
I don't think I did. I think
Oh.
I just,
your attitude.
yeah.
And that's what
I was more.
you're
I
chill.
was- yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I
I
try.
was working slowly.
Yeah.
Rather than, come on, hurry up, let's go, come on.
And that's
We gotta go.
try to tell people all the time. I think that's what gets into so much trouble for dogs when they come out of the house when they're just in a hurry, you know.
Yeah.
Or when they let them out of the car and they're just in a hurry. Or if you're at the vet and you're nervous, you know, then your dog picks up on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think all that stuff makes a big difference with the dogs. And
If I go somewhere where I'm nervous, whether it's sometimes I get nervous at the vet because I'm like, please behave.
yeah,
And there's always so many clown dogs in there. There's always dogs doing backflips and
Yeah.
running up to you on leash and,
yeah, I want
and
to say hi. And
jumping on you. And so I get a little nervous going to the vet just that my dogs will make it through the chaos. If I'm nervous, I try to really slow down and do like some breathing and not just hop into whatever I'm doing.
You know, when I made that video, my mindset for it was, my thought was, how much more, let's say Joe Bob had his dog here for 3 weeks board training, took it home for a week or a month, and he wanted to come back for a little refresher lesson. But if when they get their dog out of the car, like I did a German Shepherd, and walked it in the barn, they would get so much more out of the lesson than they will if they get it out like I did Lincoln, and just let them start sniffing and
Right.
eating stuff and walking off. And Lincoln was really good. We had Mari too, and both of the dogs were really good, but they weren't in a heel position like I had a German Shepherd. I can't remember German Shepherd's name.
Can I answer this real quick? It's the vet.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna step out in just a second. Turn your mic off, y'all sure later here. So, but my whole thing about that is the fact that whenever people come here for a lesson, or even go to the vet or something, you know, if they just, if they just let their dog out of the car and let it be silly, and a lot of people don't mind, you know, a lot of people let their dogs act like that, you know, and if that's what you want to do, then this message isn't for you unless you want to change what you're doing. But that's what makes such a difference with your dogs is sometimes when you start your morning out, if you're running late and you're aggravated already, then sometimes it just runs right over the dog. So it just makes it difficult sometimes for people to understand that you don't have to start your day that way. I mean, some people can get up 5 or 10 minutes earlier, you know, if they want to work on their dogs a little bit when they get here. If they want to work on their dogs a little bit after coming to a lesson or whatever, or even set your dogs free, you know. If people got their dogs out of the car, it's a perfect opportunity to train on your dogs from your car up to the field.
Well, and some people come to set your dog free and do train on their dogs on the walk. Some just drink their coffee and let the dogs do whatever.
And so it's kind of always up to the person what they want to do. And I was just talking to someone yesterday. I hauled a horse over Central Oregon. I was talking to somebody over there, and they're like, there's so many people who just don't care. As long as their dog ain't biting dogs and biting people and dog fighting, they're pretty happy.
Right.
If they drag them down the street, and this person's like, I don't know how they could go for a walk when your dog drags you the whole time, you know. But like I said, some people don't care, and some people try to get help and it didn't work for them. And so
Some people don't want it bad enough.
that's what I'm saying. They just don't care.
Yeah.
Brady, you got anything? Is anybody on here?
Yeah. You got about 5, 6 people here. Nobody new.
Oh, good. You don't need no new people right now. No, we always need new people.
Oh, I was like, you do what?
Yeah. we always like new people to get on here and ask us some questions and try to find out about us. And,
It's funny that you're talking about that subject because my post with Rebel last night was me and what did I write? I wrote something because she's so crazy, you know.
yeah, you do pretty good whenever you try.
When I place her, well, no, she was bad last night because I think it's funny.
Well, the video I seen of her, she was pretty good compared to mom.
Well, she was good, but in the first one,
Well, she was wanting to bed against the wall.
but I think that's so funny, you know. And I could slow her down and slow everything down.
But you enjoyed the craziness.
Yeah.
Valerie says talk about 4th of July prep.
4th of July prep. If your dog is crate trained, that's a major benefit. I was talking to somebody about this the other day who had a doodle. And she was asking if there was anything she should do because she said that they already kind of had some fireworks out in St. Paul. And the worst thing, I want to talk more about what you shouldn't do. You definitely should not coddle, pet, love on, try to comfort a dog that's afraid of things. If you can resort back to some obedience and have them on place, if they're not super stressors with loud noises, using things they know and doing something with them is really helpful. If they really stress, they should have a dark den to go hide in and relax, and the people need to separate themselves a little bit so that you're not making their anxiety worse.
I just talked to somebody about this too recently, and I remember we had a dog that came here years ago. I don't know when, and they bought those thunder jackets and everything else and put on that dog to try to get.
There's all sorts of stuff.
And they sat and helped it, you know, and like Bianca said to me, I don't know. I never had a thunder jacket. The only time I have a thunder jacket when I got a shirt.
I've used one and it does help some dogs.
And my shirt's too
But it
little.
doesn't
I think
fix
it's
the
same
problem.
thing, right?
What?
If my shirt's too little, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
It's
If
just
my
something
shirt's too
tight on.
small, it doesn't calm me though.
Me neither. It
I don't
pisses me
think it's
off
the
because
same
my
thing.
shirts shrink.
Well, I like a tight shirt, so I don't know about
Yeah.
that, guys.
I think it's going to shrink. That's the same thing a thunder jacket does. It just puts it on there and it's tight.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's kind of like putting your dog in his den. and covering him up. And me, I tell people I've never had it. I don't even know how many dogs, but I've never had the issues. And even Jody's dog's in the house. You know, she's had dogs in the house since I've known her. I don't never remember a dog losing it. You know, over it. Our dogs weren't even crated, but they were kind of farm dogs. You know, and they were kind of used to issues.
Well, and if your dog really, really struggles with fireworks and stresses and will break their teeth on a kennel, you should board them somewhere that they can't hear them.
And we board a lot of dogs during the 4th of July, and
We do.
a lot of it is so people can get their dog away from the fireworks. And here we just put them in the kennel and turn the music up. And excuse me, now we don't really have fireworks here. Years ago, we had a big fireworks show across Canyon, and every year they had the fire department there to watch the fires, all kinds of stuff. And we really enjoyed it, but they quit doing it for I don't know whatever reason. But I think that prepping your dogs for fireworks is part of prepping your dogs for crate training, which a lot of people don't like to do to begin with. They don't like to crate your dogs. So if you don't crate your dogs, I'm not sure. For me, I think it'd be turn the music up, and if you're going to do anything, I'd work with my dog. I'd place my dog, I'd set my dog, I'd down my dog. Yeah. You know, I'd recall my dog. I'd just do a bunch
Give
of
them
stuff.
something else to focus on.
And get my dogs a little bit tired and put them up. But I think that for me, from my experiences and knowledge about it, is the more you cuddle your dog, the worse it gets. And you know, you can always, if you have the capability, you can always try to get your dogs used to that noise. I remember our horses used to even be scared of guns and stuff when I met Jody 20-some years ago. And hell, I shoot guns around here once in a while, you know, because I can. And they finally got to where they come out and see what I was shooting at.
Well, and you have to do like if you're to play firework noises on TV, you want to start with them low volume and then gradually turn them up.
Training your dog. Don't just sit there and wait for your dog to
work
make
with
a
your
crazy
dog while you're
reaction.
doing that. And same thing if you're practicing with them. Start with a smaller caliber.
And at a distance, you know, don't get a gun out and shoot it right next to your dog and think you're just going to be okay, because it's not. It's really traumatizing to them if they're traumatized to that kind of noise. So, Brett, you got anything else?
Kathy Morrison says, "How about we all come to Marvin's for fireworks party?"
Yeah. Yeah, we just hide our dogs. But one of the subjects I wanted to talk about is hauling your dogs around. Because and not to pick on anyone in particular, but I seen somebody yesterday hauling their dogs loose in the back of their vehicle. And it was in the countryside, you know, I was headed Eastern Oregon, or Central Oregon, and they didn't have them chained, tied, crated, you know, and there's so many people that do, and not just cowboy, country boys, you see them in town. There used to be a truck running around in town, like 4 or 5 labs in the back of it.
In the back.
And the pickup, yeah, in the back of the pickup. And holy shit, you know, I mean, I've sold pups and dogs before, and it's because people's dogs just fell out of their truck and got ran over. And they said they'd never do that again. They'd start crating their dogs or chaining their dogs, you know. A lot of cowboys chain them on back trucks and hunters and stuff. But I feel it's just the fact that for everybody's safety, it's not a whole lot of difference if we're in the back of your truck to where they're going to fall out, or if we're in the truck or car where they're going to jump up and get your steering wheel. You know, you see so many people with their little ankle biters in their lap driving down the road, and it's like, holy crap. That's just, I mean, to me, it's dangerous, you know. And I worry about a water bottle falling out of my seat and getting under my brake pedal or something, you know. And here you've got these little dogs that's in there running around in your car, or big dogs, you know. And the majority of the people that we've talked into or taught to crate their dogs in their vehicles, I don't remember one not liking the idea if they tried it. Now, I've had people
all of them have been a lot happier.
Yeah, I've had people that just bitch and don't do it, you know. And a lot of times it's the same thing with crating your dog in your house, rather than just letting them free range all the time. And if you teach your dogs to go crate and just take a break for a while, I don't know how many people said, man, that's so much more peaceful in my house.
Yeah.
It's so much cleaner.
Yeah.
You know, just everything. So I think that a lot of times before people just disc it, they should try it. You know, like me, I tried a piece of lobster the other night, and I didn't think I would like it, and now I know I don't, because that's the first time I ever tried lobster. But last night I tried some fish.
Halibut.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's not always about just not doing something or trying something, whether it's eating something or training on your dog, you know.
Right.
And I've been told all my life, and I tell people all my life, if you do what you always did, you got a dang good chance of getting what you always got. Bronca talked, her excitement gets your dogs in trouble.
Yeah.
And gets you not ever trouble, because you can. And the fun thing about your dogs, you can always just flip the switch and lay them down and quit, walk off, and they'll stay there. So when people hear me picking on Bianca about her dogs, which I do quite often, it's not because your dogs are bad. It's not because your dogs aren't really controllable. It's just because you get Bianca wound up, and then that really winds Rebel up. Yeah. And Scout not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Most, you know. And Chili, I don't know that she gets all dingy, but Rebel, man, she's like instantly, she's ready to go. As soon as she sees you and you're wound up, she's like, yeah, let's do something fun. So it really makes a lot of difference with people and their dogs if you can control the level you have your dog at. And you should, you know, because I don't ever want nobody to think that, oh, my dog can't be on the couch, my dog can't be on the bed, you know. My dog can't act silly. My dogs can't play together, you know. I told the people of Luna and Nala the other day, because them two dogs are young dogs. What are they, a year old or something? Dobermans? Whatever. They're young, and they really want to play and act silly. And I told them they could let them, and we went out in the field, and I showed them how to let them play some. And Lulu started trying to mouth on Nala's neck, and I just had her make her quit because they're just going to get themselves in trouble. Because we met those dogs, they both wore muzzles a lot, and excuse me, now we haven't had them on muzzles, and we've had them out with a lot of different dogs and stuff. But it goes back to the excitement. You've got to be able to stop it, or else you shouldn't let it escalate to that point, because you're just going to get your dogs in trouble. So, Brett, you got anything?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on I got to catch you up on.
I almost feel bad drinking my coffee right now.
Why?
Because Bianca don't have it. You okay?
Yeah, you can drink it.
I'll watch it, or you can go get it.
I think there's even some white chocolate in there.
I will be
Just
okay. The level of concern.
Yeah, we're concerned for our safety.
You can tell them about your prep conversation before you went Facebook Live if you want. But anyways,
where you said that I was stoic and dead and tired.
I didn't argue with you.
what about the other parts? I asked if you need anything, you needed coffee before we go live.
But he asked me, he's like, do you need anything? Because you look really dead and stoic and tired. He's trying to make it sound like he was being endearing on
He's concerned.
I was concerned for you before we turned turn camera on, you know. Kathy Morrison says, with dogs, of course. And then Valerie says, I think some work now, if you haven't, with exposure to the sound. We play YouTube on TV or speakers for puppies. So play that for the adult dogs until they don't even care. Also, lots of exercise in the days before it, and make sure they do a walk that works their brain on the day of.
Mariah just did that with Edith because she didn't like loud music, so she did a couple days of training with the loud music on while she was on place, and then she's fine.
And that's, for me, the whole thing is with your dog. This is really hard for some people, but if you train on your dog to place, you release, then your dog can place during fireworks or gunshots. And we did that with Doug Jim Fisher's.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times if you
Kylie.
if you teach your dog a command, the command overrides other things.
Then it gives their brain something to focus on other than the other things.
And the exercise is always good for your dog. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you know. So Brett, what else you got?
Paula Smith says, my dogs are crated when riding in the car. They're calmer than when they were tethered by the seatbelt.
And your car's probably cleaner.
Yeah. And it is true. I don't like a dog. I say this, and I've hauled dogs for thousands of miles tied back in my truck. But if I had dogs chained in the back of my truck, if I hauled a dog in the back of my truck and they were fastened there with a chain and never with a rope or something that they could chew into and get
And
away.
it was short to the
Yeah,
center.
and they
of
were
the,
short, so they stayed right there, and they were taught to lay down. I could even holler out the window of my truck down, and they'd lay down if they got up and were staring at something, you know. So I think that it is really important for your dogs to learn to lay down and relax. So what else you got, Brett?
That's it. We're caught up now.
So, Bianca, what about your attitude with your dogs when you get them out of the crate or kennel?
what do you mean? What about it?
What's, for me, I think the first thing that we do here, if we have dogs, and you've done a video with, was it Gus that time?
Gus and Rocco in the car.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't just happen, you know. You don't just like go out there and stay and open the door and they lay there. Wrigley here a while back was like going to kill me getting out of the car, out of the crate. And it took me a long time to get that dog to where he would stay in the crate and when I opened the door and not try to charge out. And for me, you always have to be safe, you know. Like with Wrigley, I put a leash on him before we started it because of the fact that I knew he wasn't going to just be good. Who's here, Bianca?
Oh, okay. People don't normally drive down that driveway,
Yeah.
so.
So, with Wrigley, it took a long time to get him to stay in a crate whenever I opened the crate door.
Yeah.
And then we done it with his owners out here in the parking lot in their truck because he was the same way when they'd open the truck door. He'd bust out the truck and try to
Some
get out.
dogs are not as bad, but some are so bad about
They are.
busting through doors and busting through gates and.
And right now we've got Boris. He comes here a lot. Last time he was here a week or two ago, he decided he was going to run me over every time I was He just decided, no, I'm not listening no more.
He said, "You took vacation.
And
you
then,
were here."
Finn was just like that.
Boris is
Like
such
Rosie.
an angel.
Yeah. But Finn was that way with me. And then a couple days ago, Rocco, the
You know what I think it is?
retriever. Not my attitude.
Uh-oh. There we
But
go.
I was in a good attitude when I took them
Or
out.
maybe it's because you don't do turnout as much. But whenever I take them out, I like slowly go through each gate. Sometimes I'll make them lay down.
I
Sometimes
did
I'll
too.
just make
And
them
then they
sit.
behaved. I figured I fixed them for y'all. You're
fixed
saying
them.
I was a problem. Not on
No,
that.
I think you're the problem. You were probably,
Oh.
you were probably on a
You know, I
speed path
can't
out to the
do
field.
dog beds no more. I can't clean kennels. Joey don't let me clean horse dogs.
Would you like to explain why?
Yeah,
Would you like to explain why?
because y'all are just like too picky. So my job just keeps getting smaller, so I just have more time to do other things. Brett, you got anything?
I got a lot of things if you're ready for it.
Let's try something.
Well, you got Mariah. She
Morning,
said,
Mariah.
this is Mariah Shore.
All right.
Mariah, not Mo. Right.
The one that joined me yesterday.
Not Mo.
Hey, thanks for joining me.
Place is by far the most valuable command I have for my dogs. Living with 5 young dogs that all have different levels of energy. We place
I
daily.
couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to have a pile of dogs if they didn't place. Last night I tore the cabin apart and was working late.
Hold on. Hold on. Different levels of energy we place daily, so everybody gets a break while coexisting versus only going in their crate when things get riled up. And it's made it so they can all calmly coexist in the house versus thinking it's always party time when lose with each other. When they was with each other. Loose, thank you. Yeah, hello brain.
I think that sometimes if you want to test your dogs, I'm not picking on you, Mariah, but if people want to test your dog, and I've seen it in households, my sister's dogs in Missouri and Texas, they can just, their dogs don't know what place means, but they just coexist in the house without causing trouble. And it's really, I don't know, I don't even understand it. I'd like to
What
be
are you saying, test them up?
not placing your dogs like Mariah's talking about with her 5 dogs. Don't place them and don't crate them and just walk around in your house and see how your dogs do.
Well, if you place them and you crate them, they're probably going to do good.
Maybe. But I feel maybe I'm wrong, but if you place them, and I just told somebody the other day, I think part of their problem is they place them way more than they crate them, and so they're always on place waiting to be released so they can go into action.
I still don't understand your point of how to test them.
If your dog is good and solid, if you just let them wander around in the house, they're not going to get in trouble. They're not going to go steal food off the counter, and they're not going to follow you every step you make. They're going to go lay themselves down and relax.
Oh, I see.
You follow me?
Yeah.
To where if your dog is
Which
only...
we tell people all the time, if you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this, they will do it by default.
They will.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes people, and I know this not by Mariah, but by someone else I've worked with here recently, if they make their dog place, and like I said, a lot, but they don't crate their dog as much or more than they do place their dog, and their dog's still not stable.
So their dog's on place, able to see them and be with
And his
them
mind
all
is
the
just
time.
wanting to be gone, and he's just waiting for that release. Like me, and we'll test our dogs in the kennels, because I found it pretty funny this morning, that, and it's kind of surprised me, but Bear was laying up on a crate somewhere. They were washing some kennels, and there I don't know how many dogs, 3 or 4 or 5 dogs laying around in there on crates and treadmills and some beds, and I walked by and pet a Bear on the head and told him good morning, you know, and kept walking, and he didn't even get off the crate, which really surprised me, because I figured he would bail off the crate and follow me because he thought we were going to do something. But I don't know how many dogs in the kennels that would be laying around that we could just say their name and good morning and walk on by and touch them on the head and they would stay.
In their kennels?
No, just out laying around like Bears laying on a crate.
Oh, on place.
Yeah. And I didn't put him there, someone else did who was cleaning kennels. Like Mari, I don't know that. I would have to give her a stink eye before I did it.
I think I could do all of our personal dogs.
I would like to see that, Bianca. Yeah, but I just think it's hard. Especially if
I think I could do it with all of our personal dogs, with Emmett, with Truman, Mia. No, not Mia, and Gizmo.
But what about Mari
That's what I mean. All of our
Rebel.
personal dogs.
and Scout?
Yeah.
If somebody else placed them on a top of a crate in there, you can just walk by and pet them on the head and tell them good morning and keep going. I'd like to see all that. I don't doubt it, but I wouldn't bet money on it either way. But it would be fun to see it. But for me, the moral of the story is it's pretty fun how. And Bear was even setting up instead of down, but he was just watching them clean kennels, I guess. But it was pretty fun to see.
He's like, work, people.
Slaving orders. Shut up over there, dog. I don't hear you snoring. So, Brent, you got anything?
Yeah, I got a couple more things. You got Suzanne. She said, we're currently dealing with fleas. Bianca, have any tips, tricks after a master grooming conference? Lots of place/crate time as we wash and clean around
You
here.
gotta blow the whole house.
You know, yeah, but the flea medicine that we use, I don't know what you use, Suzanne, but it really works good, huh? I guess. We don't have fleas.
Yeah.
I know Jared Lee and a bunch of them down south use it, and I don't think they have trouble with it. So it does work really well. And in your house, what do you put that flea bomb thing in there supposed to kill them all? But I was told one time that if a flea gets on a dog that has a flea medicine, the flea will die.
Yeah, but then there can be fleas in the carpet
Well,
or
right,
bedding.
yes.
And
So yeah, all I ever heard that you do is bomb the fleas. And knock on wood, here in Oregon, I've never had flea problems except for if I bring a dog in, you know, in the past from out of state, and they would have flea on them. But we put cedar shavings in my kennels,
yeah,
and it would get rid of them.
yeah. Cedar's a major helper.
Yeah, so you don't want to put cedar shavings in your house, but yeah, that's bad. Brent, what else you got?
We got Kathy Morrison says, do you have suggestions for off-leash exercise within 50 miles of Newburgh?
What was the question?
Do you-
Off-leash places.
Oh, I can't.
Within 50 miles of Newburgh.
What? How far?
50 miles of Newburgh. Yeah.
Can I private message her
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
comment?
we should because
I don't want to.
We don't want to give away
I
some
don't want
secrets.
to advertise the
You know,
spot.
well, yeah, we don't want 500
I'm
people showing up at
gatekeeping.
our secret spots.
We're gatekeepers.
The off-leash dog park, is that what they call that 1,000 acres over at
Yeah.
Troutdale?
Yeah.
But I've heard bad things about that place, and it's at Troutdale exit. Now it's called, yeah, it's still Troutdale, I think. Exit, there's a Love's truck stop and stuff there on 84 going east out of Portland.
Nice.
But I heard the biggest problem there is getting from your car out to the fields where you got your dogs
Yeah,
go.
you have to watch.
Because
for
everybody's
people.
dogs are off leash and they're wanting to run over and say hi to your dogs. And Finn's a super nice dog. And you're talking about the big Finn Rhodesian?
No.
The little Finn?
It's Kathy
Captain
Morrison.
Morrison and Pie, the Malinois.
It looks like a German. Sorry,
It's a Malinois.
I shouldn't say that.
What's that?
Kathy, our media guy said the Pie looks like a German Shepherd.
The what?
All I see is a picture. I don't know any different. To be fair, Kathy, I never grew up with dogs.
What's the
or
dog's
animals,
name?
so
Pie.
I don't know what the dog's name is. I just see a picture.
Did you say pie?
Yes.
I'm trying to think which dog it is. But that place out there, you know, and like I said, I've heard good and bad both about it, but it's because of the off-leash dogs
Oh.
that are there. And Bianca will text you some places that you can go that kind of are spots we don't want to call it.
Mariah's back. We're gonna have to put her on a podcast.
Mariah?
Yeah, Mariah, we're gonna have to interview her on a podcast. She's got more. So she said they all do good now and chill, but using place consistently is what got us to this point. They know that outside is when they can play and be a bit crazier, and inside we can relax. And they're generally all hanging out, laying around the house. But yes,
What do you want?
it could have gotten out of control if I didn't make sure they learned to leave place calmly. Took a few weeks with a new healer type pup. He lounges around the house and is napping most of the time when he's loose.
And it makes a lot of difference when they get some good quality exercise. And, I think for me, dogs playing and running through the woods and stuff like we do out here on the City Dogs Free, majority of people that I'm aware of, when they do City Dogs Free, their dogs are ready to go home, go sleep. You know?
They usually sleep in the car.
Yeah, they go sleep on the way home. But it's because it's a good, relaxed play, and it's not just being crazy and chewing on one and hitting.
Yeah, there's
and
some
stuff like
rules.
that.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of difference whenever they get exercise like that, whether it is playing ball, but you still, everybody I think who comes to Set Your Dogs Free still train on their dogs to some degree. They come and do lessons or group walks or whatever they might do. They still train on their dogs. And Bianca's got this 100-day, 30 seconds a day that I haven't seen Suzanne on, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or Mariah.
Huh.
Huh.
It's kind of weird. But that's really gotten people to working with their dogs, which was your whole idea, to get people to do more with their dogs.
Well, and we have quite a few people who are sticking it out, so I'm really excited to see what their experience is after working.
You know,
with
my
dogs
thought
100 days
is-
in a row.
At the end, at 100 days from the day you started, there's going to be nobody left.
You hear that?
Dang.
Do you disagree, Brett?
I think there will be one or two people left, you know?
I just about made a couple.
You know who's keeping me going? Pie's mom. She's doing it every single day. I got faith
I'm
in her.
waiting for them to slip, though.
I got faith.
They're not going to.
They're going to oversleep one day.
They're holding strong.
They're not.
Well, you ready for more?
Suzanne's the one I can't believe didn't do it. And
And
Mariah.
Jen with Finn and Alan.
Didn't they start?
No?
Oh, I thought they started. You're probably scared.
You got more stuff going on here. You ready?
All right, go ahead, Brett.
Mariah said, Suzanne, at our grooming salon, we use Wondercide, and it works great for fleas. It's non-toxic, it can be sprayed anywhere, and even on the dogs.
I have
Then you
heard
don't
this
have to
stuff about
worry
that.
about the dogs being out of the house
Different products.
to kill the fleas. Suzanne replied and said, safe for dogs with seizures, question mark. Mariah said, hey, we've been training. I've just been lazy with videos. Concho's on place now while the toys are everywhere. and he's not happy he isn't allowed to grab any. Then Suzanne and Mariah just chatting, and then Suzanne said, "I'm busy cleaning fleas." Kathy Morrison said,
Do a video of your dog watching a flea.
Kathy Morrison said, "Belgian Malinois is pie."
Kathy Morrison said what?
Belgian Malinois.
So, Bianca,
Yes.
when are we going to do the dogs go find their owners? Did you notice I have the whole woods mowed now? Oh,
No.
you probably haven't been up there.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid of the wasps.
You what?
I'm a little afraid of wasps.
And snakes and
I'm
spiders.
not afraid of snakes, and I'm not that afraid of spiders. I had a traumatic experience last year.
Was what, a wasp?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you got stung by like 109 of them.
yeah. My leg almost popped.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't blame you. That's pretty scary. So I think that, are you going to do that with us?
Yeah.
It's going to be easier for the dogs to find you now, though, than I mowed the woods.
We could do July the 6th.
We have to do, yeah, we could.
Oh, no, not that day.
Sports
We
day.
could do
The week after we're gonna be going.
yeah,
July 14th, 15th, we'll be going.
July
The week
20th.
after you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I don't care. I'm pretty open.
Okay.
Bianca thinks she's going to win it already.
For sure.
She already got the crown made for herself.
Do we want to do it at 9 a.m.?
Sounds good to me.
Maybe 10.
The hotter it gets.
Yeah. But for us to be done with everything and ready to be out there by 9 a.m.
10's fine. I don't care.
Let's do 9.
See, all I do, if I want 9, I say 10. She says 9.
So then you just make up the number that you wanted to argue at just a little bit higher, you know? 5,
Yeah,
6,
anything,
7,
Brad?
6, go 7.
Me and Brett's enjoying our coffee.
Yeah, we are. We're just having coffee and podcast. Let's do
No
this.
second cup.
We'll do this every morning, Marvin. Podcast and coffee.
I had coffee like 5 o'clock this morning.
Bianca, you need some more coffee? Yeah, we're caught up now.
So, what about recalling your dogs?
What about it?
Well, I talk a lot about using a tone button for a recall. Is your dog's tone button trained?
I think all 3 of them would come. Tilly's like stellar. The other ones don't really leave me, you know? But Tilly could be like all the way up in the woods and I could be down here and I could hit the tone and she would find me.
You don't have to call her nothing.
No.
A lot of
I'll
people
show
that,
you.
a lot of people that I talk to, you ask them, does your dog recall? And they say yes, and then you usually see them recall their dog 3 or 4 times. Does that count to you guys
Wow.
as
Are you
recall?
talking about my dog?
Excuse me. The
Is that
thing
talking
is,
about my dog?
the thing is for that, Brett, is it's because people do it. They don't make the dog a recall on the first time. Same thing with the dog that's sit or down
Yeah.
or place. It's the dog counts, and I've always said that. Like we use Bianca for instance, and Rebel, or ever how she says that. Let's say that she calls Rebel and Rebel don't come, and she calls her again, and Rebel don't come. She calls her again, and Rebel comes. So that's the 3rd time. So the next time, Bianca might call Rebel once, and then the 2nd time, and then Rebel's counting for the 3rd one, you know, because she knows she's got to come. But a bird flies by, and Rebel loses focus, and so Rebel starts over again. But instead of 3, it's 1 to Rebel, so she waits 3 more, so then she has 5 times. And that's what people get into all the time.
Okay.
And I'm probably guilty of it, as most people are, you know.
For sure.
But if I'm going to be serious with my dog, which Bianca does too, you know,
Yeah.
the dogs understand it instantly if they're really trained. It's just like Bianca talked about her dogs getting out of the car this morning.
Uh-huh.
They automatically know that, okay, we're serious this morning, I gotta stay my mom.
Yeah.
Where normally they just blow out of the car and run in the barn and look for breakfast, you know.
Yeah.
So the recall's the same way. They know if you're like, you've got that attitude that we're just training right now, we're gonna follow rules, they're like, okay, we'll follow rules.
Yeah.
And so, for me, if people train their dogs well enough, you know, it kinda don't matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah.
But if you start out with those leniencies,
Yep.
then you'll never hardly get to where like Bianca and I are, you know.
It won't just be a matter of tightening
Mariah.
things up or
Yeah. Well, but
Yeah.
if they never got there,
yeah.
it's hard to go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I'm tracking with you.
So people need to get, and that's what I try to tell people all the time. And people dissect our program sometimes when they go home. Some people do, you know. And it's like you can't dissect our program until you've completed it. 3 or 4 months down the road, then you can start doing lots of different stuff. If you followed it through enough that you have the results that we want you to have,
Yeah.
then you can start letting your dog sleep on the bed more or on the couch or whatever. I still don't like the dogs riding loose in the car. It doesn't matter what program you have. It's just not always the safest thing. I say that, and Jody's dog rides loose in the car for the last 24 years, but you will not ever see her dog go over the back of the seat. And you don't see her dog pacing in the car. It gets in the car and it lays
Legs
down.
down.
Right.
And that's, you know, I don't know, is it right or wrong? I don't know. Like I say all the time, it's a lot of times I recommend doing what I say, not what I do.
Yeah.
And we get in trouble with that even around our kennels because here
Right.
on back, Bianca had to get oxygen because I took out a couple dogs. And
You know, I think as you're talking, the question formed in my head: when you're out there having fun with your dog, and then when you're training with your dog, like how do you find that consistency in between, or how do you link both? And
Well,
I think
that's what Marvin-
you said it right. You answered the question. So I was thinking it, and you answered it without even me asking it.
yeah,
and that
but
was
it
great.
is, and you can go play and
Yeah.
act silly, and you know, but then when you ask them to quit, and
Yeah.
me, you just talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
If you're doing all this crazy shit and then you say down and walk off, their dog should clock out. They're done. You know, and then you call your dog, they should just come over to you and you go on about your business because you stop the games, you know. And,
Right.
But you want to be able to play the games, you know. I don't play the games with my dogs at all. My cow dogs, the game's always been the work stock, you know.
Right. So
I've
it's
never really played fetch with my dog or frisbee. You guys do. You play
Yeah.
fetch with Mari once in a while. Barry, I don't think he fetches nothing but cows and goats, but still I feel that it's just a matter of always for me, and I've said this for, well, me and Jody just had our, 24th anniversary yesterday? So we've been together 26 years.
nice.
So for 26 years that I've been on this property, if I'm like, my dog better bring his happy ass over here, and he better stay with me until I tell him he can go play. And he don't even have to lay down. Most of them will, you know, if I call him to me. The bear don't. Bear sets the stairs because everybody pets him, you know, that's kind of his thing. But my other dogs, Sport, Tyson, all of them, they'd come over and lay by my feet until I decided what we were going to do, you know.
Yeah.
But that was one of the harder things for people to, even with my cow dog world, it was really hard for people to understand why, when they met me, why that was so important to me.
Right.
But my dog has to come to me and he has to clock out because I've had some pretty nice high-powered cow dogs and they can't go out there just being stupid because they get killed and hurt and legs broken and everything else, you know. So a lot of people's personal dogs are that way because they'll run out across the parking lot if you open the car door and you're in over because you can't keep them with you until you let them go, you know. And I talked about even cowboy, and I'd get 3 or 4 or 5 dogs out on a place, a ranch or something to go work cattle. Then you can just stay right there by my rig until I got my horse out and cinched up and come on and ready to ride off. And then we could go to work, but they couldn't just get out of my vehicle and start peeing on everybody's tractors and trucks and, you know, and running off chasing cats, and they had to be respectful. And I think that a lot of times that's one of the harder things for people to do is to get that consistent recall to where you can go, like Bear and Mari, I'd take them anywhere off leash. I'd never worry about them. And you're the same way with your dogs.
Yeah. All 3 of them.
And you with Rue, you know. it's not even something I worry about. I mean, I pull over on the side of the road from halfway from here to Missouri and get my dogs out. I'd get out without even e-collar on, but it's not the smartest thing in the world doing. It's again, like I said, don't do what I do what I recommend, you know, if you want. But there's so many people that can't just take their dogs, they may not get them back, you know. And for me, if I was a hiker, you know, and I really want to take my dog off the leash out on the mountains, there's so many trails that I see between here and Lincoln City, you know, those old roads you just pull off every park, and I guess, I don't know, may not be legal, but take your dog hiking, you know, and there's a slim to no chance you'll find anybody, so make sure you have whatever, you know, gun or bear spray or whatever. Who knows what you might find out there in those woods, but you just want to be safe doing it. Don't let her a bag of marshmallows and think everything will be your friends. So, Brett, you got anything else?
Yeah, we're getting blown up. We got to catch up a little bit. Kathy Morrison says, "How do we win? Recall contest. How will it work? Will owners walk? And tracking? Question mark."
Yeah, what we're going to do.
Well, either hold the dog or we might have some crates that you put
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Bianca done, I thought he was going to bite me the other day, my buddy Scout.
Are you
Because Bianca had me to hold him while she went and hid behind the tree 5 miles away. And Scout got really mad. So, but what you're going to do is we're going to go to the Set Your Dogs Free area, and we're inviting all of our clients, right? It don't have to be just the people who do the Set Your Dogs
No,
Free.
we just have to know you.
Yeah, we have. Well, you have to be one of our customers, and we have to know your dog ain't gonna bite us if we haven't seen you for a while, or try to kill a dog. But we're gonna keep the dogs separated. They'll all be on leash, and we'll take one dog at a time into the cow or the horse woods area where we always go. And me or Bianca, whoever, will hold your dog or your partner, husband, wife, friend, daughters, kids, grandparents, whoever. Somebody will hold your dog where it can't watch you go hide. And then you're going to go off into the woods where we tell you we're going to have a designated tree. And each person will go to that tree and hide. And the people who can't walk, if you want to do it, I'll take you on side by side.
The same tree every time?
Well, they got to be within a reasonable close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're going to do a time thing, right?
Yeah.
So
I see.
one person can't be 50 feet and the other one 300.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. And if there's anybody that stiff competition like Jason and what's his name used to be, Corn and Chewie's dad.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
They competed so bad it was just like funny watching them. But regardless, your time will start. We'll have two-way radios, and we'll tell you when to call your dog, and then you call your dog, and we'll release your dog, and the time will start when we release your dog. And I like the crate idea. If we can get them in a crate,
Yeah.
we'll let them out of the crate, and the time will start, and the time will stop when the dog gets to you at your tree that you're hit at. And we have enough trees over there on that back line lined up that we can put people by different trees, you know. But it'll be one person at a time, and each time you call your dog, you will add like 30 seconds to your time or a minute or something, you know. And that way it makes it kind of fair for people. Like somebody who calls their dog once, and even though it takes your dog 5 seconds longer, the person that calls their dog 8 times shouldn't beat them, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then you have a time, only a certain amount of time, and then we'll stop it, and you can step out and call your dog, get a cheeseburger or whatever. And then we're going to have some pretty cool prizes. I don't know what it'll be, some leashes or cheeseburgers or something for the winners, you know. So that'll be the competition. It's going to be pretty fun, so we hope we have a good turnout.
What's it gonna cost?
I don't know. We need to do an interview, though, so we can donate it or something.
Mariah Stone says, "Can you talk about how to properly play fetch, since it seems I see more people creating neurotic dogs by playing fetch instead of just playing the game and having no fun with your dog?"
You know, and me and Bianca do this all the time, and we talk about it all the time, and we show people a lot, Mariah. You've been gone for a while, but we show people quite often how to do it with fetch. And like Mariah said, the biggest thing people do is they make their dog crazy adrenaline junkies over the fetch. But for me, if you can't tell your dog to bring you your ball or frisbee or stick, and if you can't tell them to drop it and leave it and walk off with your dog, then you've kind of got to back up and slow down. A lot of times, it's just everything goes so fast. You know, your dog brings you the ball, and they're just jacked up and doing backflips and cartwheels, and then you throw the ball and the dog's gone.
And break it up with some advanced stuff where you're.
Well, they are. They should. That's what I was gonna say. Your dog, when you call it to you, it should set. You should throw the ball or whatever, frisbee or stick, and your dog should stay there until you release them. And then for me, you really, the more advanced, your dog gets about halfway there, and you should be able to lay down. They should lay down, and you should be able to call them back to you. And if they're bringing you the ball or the stick or frisbee, what is called object. If they're bringing you the object and you say drop it halfway there and leave it and come, they should drop it, leave it, and come to you. So instead of making it a crazy game for a dog, make it a training experience. And you do that a lot. I see you out there with 4, 5, 6 dogs in the field and throwing balls and frisbees and sticks and shit everywhere, and the dogs are all being behaved, and you send one dog at a time. And, that's what you want to do with your dogs, especially like with you, Mariah. You have 5 or 12 dogs or whatever you have now. If you start making this a training session, it sure makes it a lot more fun for you and the dog, for the dog to learn. So what else you got, Brett?
Mariah said, having fun, not no fun, LOL.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with it. So you got anything else, Brett?
No, that's it.
You got anything?
Nope.
I must not turn my phone on smart. So I think we'll just bail off if you don't know that. And everybody watch for the dog hunting competition, because we'll post more about it later, and you can keep up with it, because we've got, what, a month or something before we do it.
Yeah, the 20th of July.
And we want it to be a fun competition, and there will be a little bit of a charge and then a donation, whatever you want to donate over that. Because I don't know what we'll give to you, we'll figure out something. So, all right, well, thanks a lot, everybody, and thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.